Welcome to another Move with Meg. This is all about our hip mobility. So if we have trained, which we have, and conditioned our hip joint to be a hinge joint by sitting in chairs and cars and couches and stuff like that for years and years and years, let's say 30 years or so, we're going to find our hips are going to be pretty stiff. We're going to have tight hip flexors, tight quads, we're going to have tight hamstrings, and that's going to play a huge effect onto our knees and our lower back and of course our glute med strength. This is a really nice movement little pattern that you can do to get some more mobility back into your hips. So we come into this 90-90 position and you can start by putting your hands back behind you. Keep the feet as they are and you just use your hips, so it's an internal and an external rotation. So just sliding side to side. And we want to kind of engage the core a little bit here too. So over time you can start to take your hands off. And don't worry if this is clunky or you're falling backwards. That's what it's about. Have some fun along the way. It's really up to us how we choose to respond to this kind of stuff as well. And movement is a feeling. It's not what aesthetically it looks like. It's how it feels in our mind and our body. So move to feel good, not to punish, and it becomes a whole nother story. So from this movement, if this is feeling good, you can start to open up and get into the groin and the hip flexors. Same movement through the middle. And just working with your hips. If that's feeling good, you can then add on a different movement here by starting to step out, come into a bit of a lunge, using your hand to come back down to the ground and change sides. So taking your time, we are all really good at moving fast, right? So when we slow things down, it can be a whole nother experience. Eventually this can come up to stand. Taking your time to stand up. And of course, moving through those sequences can be a really great one for the hips. The other one that's really nice, and it's helped my lower back so much as well, is like we're kind of stirring a pot with our hips. So think of your hip bones here, nice and steady through the tripod of the foot, which I've spoken about on my other Move with Meg videos. And if you visualize yourself stirring a pot with your hips and moving slow, again, you do this in the morning, you can really tune in to what's going on with the body. How is my outer hip feeling, right? How is my lower back feeling? We start to get some movement in and around the sacrum, but it's also really good for our digestion. So going both different directions with that as well is a really nice one for our hips. And then lastly, this is a really good one. Again, just getting that three-dimensional movement, coming to a bit of a sumo stance. And then trying to do like a little bit of a figure eight with our hip bones here. So also getting into the knees. Again, just working to your degree, and you'll get this massage in and around the digestion, in and around the belly, but having this beautiful movement in and around the sacrum, of course, which is where a lot of tension and rigidity can get held from a lot of sitting and compression into the spine. And plus, this feels really, really good. And you can really just let yourself loose on this one. Put on a favorite tune, or just, I don't know, you can do it in your coffee line at work, whatever works for you. You start a trend, who knows? So slowly coming back. And some really nice movements there just to do to get those hips moving, to get out of this patterning and conditioning that we've had of sitting for so long, and to get yourselves ultimately feeling good and moving good at the end of the day. Thanks, guys.